Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant. And once again, I'm in the beautiful Sandwich Town Hall upstairs. Well, actually, the former town hall, but will always be the seat of government. That's like we like to think of it. In any case, it sits here on the beautiful Sham Pond, and I am interviewing today a wonderful woman named Susan Lambert, who's bringing her one woman show to this stage on March 14th. And it's going to be a great show. So come along. Let's have another Cape Conversations. Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I'm sitting here in the beautiful Sandwich Town Hall. And I have a delightful lady with me, a wonderful person, actress, singer. She does everything, and she's a psychotherapist. So maybe she'll have me lay down on the floor and she can ask me some questions. Anyway, or I can ask her questions. Anyway, Susan Lambert, welcome. So
Oh,
good to see you.
thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
I am so excited to see that you're a part of Sandwich Arts Alliance, Women Creating Art,
Hmm.
by women, for women, about women.
It's fantastic, and in this beautiful place, and
I
I'm
know.
thrilled. I'm thrilled to be part of it. Thank you for inviting me.
It's so exciting.
Yeah,
So you are doing Friday night. Well, first of all,
yeah,
Thursday night we have an art opening with just
hmm
women. So that'll be kind of cool.
totally.
And we had harpist Katie Coughlin playing, who and she's just delightful.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be prosecco and hors d'oeuvres and quite New York style, perhaps Upper East Side of New York, because I know that's where you lived for a while.
Yeah,
And then on Friday night, we have you
I'm so thrilled.
in the couch.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Which,
right.
nobody can be on the couch that Friday night. They have to be here. Do you know that?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
kind of an en masse,
right.
couch experience.
So Susan,
Yes.
tell me all about the show.
Um. So it's really, I would describe it as a solo musical theater piece. We could call it cabaret, but it's not really cabaret. That's kind of it's kind of a funny phrase. We scripted this, I really carefully curated all the material, and it's a little theater piece, and
Oh, nice.
I play many characters actually
Oh,
in this piece.
fun.
And you can imagine what it might be about, called The Couch. And it's got a lot of great, not terribly well-known musical theater songs, but some, and a script, and it's really about what people go through, how they experience it, from a 9-year-old finding out who she is to, you know, um, a housewife who's depressed and wandering around her house trying to figure out what's going on with her life, to,
Be any of us.
and that hello? To, the girl who, like, just realizes she wants love in her life and
Yeah.
loses her mind. Did I just screw the sound up? I just hit my mic. Oh, well. So yeah, it's really ups and downs, hills and valleys. It's a wild ride, and I kind of like to do that to my audiences.
Yeah.
I like to bring them right in on the wild ride. And yeah, I don't want to tell too much about it.
Well, no, they got to
Spoiler alert, they gotta come. They gotta come experience it.
And
Yeah.
it starts at 7 o'clock
Yeah.
right here in the hall.
Mm-hmm.
And the doors will open a little bit early because we have the
Mm-hmm.
beautiful gallery downstairs that
So
people can come
nice.
in and take a peek.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can come upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see you. And
Yeah.
also tell me
Mm-hmm.
about you. I mean, who is Susan Lambert? Sound like Glit, don't I?
Yeah. Well, one more thing I want to say about the show too, which
Yeah.
I should say, is that my music director, Jonathan Goldberg,
Uh-huh.
who does a lot of work in Boston, um, uh, with me, but also on his own, has done beautiful arrangements of many
Oh,
of these pieces, which is
nice.
which is really kind of the magical thing about these kinds of shows. If you find a musician who's just incredible and sensitive and full of humanity, the arrangements that you do bring new life to material that exists. So I really wanted to throw that in, because that's just such a treat to witness. And I think you just saw something we did, and
Well, I did.
that
I
was
was gonna bring
Jonathan.
that up.
Yeah.
That was Jonathan, your
Yeah, and
pianist
he did
there.
some beautiful arrangements in
Yeah,
that
it
in
was
that piece too.
wonderful.
Anyway, so I grew up on the Cape in Eastham, weekends and summers. I was,
No
from
way.
Boston. Yeah, I lived in Boston. So I was here a lot of my childhood and my adolescence,
Mhm.
and I had a career in New York as an actress and a singer for many years, and like many people, the industry itself seemed to wear on me a little bit, the momentum and, having to kind of wait around a lot to
Yeah.
get your jobs and your work. And at some point, and I had done a lot of really gratifying work. I love to develop new works. I've done a lot of cabaret. I did European tours. I did Off-Broadway. Um, but I wanted to get into some kind of work that was similar, but had a more measurable momentum.
Sure.
I was in therapy at the time, of course. Uh,
Wait a minute. What actor isn't in
yeah,
therapy?
right? Um,
No offense, but
no,
it's true.
hey, I start the show talking about that. Um, so yeah, so I went back to graduate school and I became a therapist, which to me seemed really similar to what we do as artists. You're going inside and you're trying to connect to people. And
Sure.
I hope that as an artist, and I know we agree with this, I hope that we're affecting people and that we're connecting and we're helping people have experiences they might not have otherwise, and that they can learn something about themselves or see themselves in a piece of art. And so the work that I do with the therapy isn't really that different. I don't think. I mean, it is and it isn't. So I like straddling both worlds. I found the way after a couple of years. I thought, oh, now I'm not doing my calling though anymore. It's the industry I don't like. It's not the work. So I
Yeah.
figured out how to do both, and it's great. It's
Well, it's
great.
wonderful. Well,
Yeah,
the couch has gotten rave reviews wherever you performed it.
we're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
no, that's not being lucky. That's talent. That's talent and
Thanks.
great execution. Let's
Oh,
face
thank
it.
you.
In staging.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
congratulations on that. And I'm glad you're bringing it here, and you're bringing your own couch, which is so
We
we don't have to. Although we have one in storage, but
okay.
to have to get it out, I'd much
Right.
rather use yours.
And the wonderful Nina Schuessler directed it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so come on. I
I
mean,
know.
she's just
Can't get any better than
you
that.
can't get better than that. You
No,
can't get better than that.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and, I've really since I moved back here full time right before COVID, I'm just so, impressed by how much great artistry is going on in Cape Cod. There's so much going on, music, theater, art, dance, and it's just been such a pleasure to get to know people and to do more and more, and sort of I'm traversing. I was thinking, "Oh, I'm driving to Sandwich now," and, the other day I was in Provincetown, and it's just so great. I'm
Are
really
you doing
pleased.
the Little Devils plays?
No,
Okay.
no, because I can't. It's, because I have other stuff going on. I'm doing a radio play for Cape Noir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, the only reason why I asked is
yeah,
because I saw something on Facebook,
yeah,
and, it must be
they're
Janet
great.
Geist
Janet.
Moore.
Janet's doing one. Yep.
Janet Geist
Mhm,
Moore's in
mhm,
it,
mhm. Yeah,
so
I saw their thing last year. Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah.
great.
Well, it will be, I'm
Mhm,
sure. I have no
mhm,
doubt about it. She's a
mhm.
fine
Oh
actress
my
for sure.
gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's terrific.
Mhm,
So, you live down Cape,
mhm,
you're a
mhm.
psychotherapist on the side or
Uh-huh.
in real
Sort of. Yeah, I don't know.
juggle,
Everything yeah, we're juggling. We're juggling.
but you're also married to a fabulous photographer and screenwriter, and
Mhm,
he does everything. He's taught
mhm,
classes here in
mhm,
Sandwich.
mhm.
So, tell me about that. Tell me about Claude.
Well, Claude's he's a wonderful filmmaker, and he ran the filmmaking department for many years at New York Film Academy.
Wow.
And then he went to teaching part-time when COVID happened, and now he's freelancing, and he's a fantastic teacher. He's wildly creative. He knows everything about film. And so it's really nice to have that collaboration at home, really, because
Mhm.
he's learned a lot about the theater
Right,
and about music,
right.
and I've learned a lot. I see everything now kind of through the lens of, like, film. Things feel cinematic to me now.
Yeah.
And so that's really lovely, and he loves the Cape. He came having been a New York resident forever, for his whole life, and he was like, "Arr, Cape Cod, where is it? It's in the middle of nowhere," you know? And we got here, and we were doing half and half for a while, and then when we plunked down because of COVID, now he says, "Oh, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna visit New York, meh." Like, he's just a total convert.
Is that right?
It is.
Do you live in Eastham now?
We live in Brewster.
You live in Brewster.
Yeah.
Well, so it's remote, but not that remote now.
No, but he's loving teaching here. He's just
Yeah.
it's interesting teaching adult ed on the Cape, because I
Yeah.
think it goes through phases, and we're a very seasonal it's a seasonal
Yes.
community, and you kinda have to pick your times, and, so he's learning that landscape, and that's been great for him because he's had such great experiences here so far, so it's
No,
nice.
and we're a different demographic,
Yeah,
you
right,
know?
right.
I mean,
It's
it's just
unusual.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's older,
Yep.
a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of
Mhm.
it is well heeled,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
sure.
they can afford to take it. And then but they also are a little finicky about,
Mhm.
well, do I want to spend this much time doing this or that
Yeah.
or the other thing?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's not like I mean, I think, we have to remember in an urban setting, people can walk to your thing or jump on a train.
right,
Here, you have to have a car,
right,
and also it is a seasonal community. So there are
right,
months where people are like, "Nope, now I'm preparing for the on season, for the in
right,
season." And then it's like, "No, now I'm coming out of that." So we
right.
have a certain kind of window.
Yeah,
I think that's true for performing arts too, to some degree. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what we choose to do in the summer and what we choose to do off
right,
season.
right.
But that's also what I love because I think there's just so much creativity here. I think people figure that out and they bring to beautiful places like this what they bring, at kind of timing it right. Like this is perfect timing, I think, for women in the arts. This,
It's International Women's Month. We
yeah,
all know that.
yeah,
And what's really exciting about
mm,
this is our second year of doing this,
mm-hmm,
and the excitement around it
mm,
is slowly growing.
great,
And
mm-hmm,
I think that's really, really important
mm-hmm,
to show that there are so many outstanding women here on the Cape
yeah.
that are doing great artistic work. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and you're one of them.
No, I'm not, but
Well, you are.
I like bringing it to other
Yeah,
people.
that's right.
I always think of myself as a connector.
Yeah.
I like connecting people,
Mhm.
and excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat.
Mm.
I really, really enjoy though bringing art and artistic endeavors to people that may not get to Boston,
Right.
that may not be able to go to the MFA or may not be able to go anywhere,
Mhm.
right? Just
Yeah.
in there, they say there are a lot of people that don't cross the bridge. That's like a big deal.
Yeah,
And I'm sure you've met them.
I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So to me, I think that's wonderful. And certainly they're doing it in other areas of the Cape as well.
Mhm.
Sandwich has never really done it before. And we're now so lucky that the Sandwich Arts Alliance is here and we can do this.
Yeah, I think it's so true what you're saying, and it's also because I think, obviously, as you age, the whole thing of driving off the Cape, going to Boston, figuring out the parking, where am I gonna get a snack, is an issue, but frankly, going to the theater. I mean, there's a lot of great theater in Boston, so I'm not
Oh,
knocking
yeah.
it,
No, no,
for sure,
there
there's a
is.
lot of great
Yep.
theater, but there's a big difference between going and spending $150 for a ticket and
Or
coming some
300.
or 300, or coming somewhere in the Cape and spending 30 or 25, and, we're not it everything is what it is. Boston's great, Cape Cod's great, but art is art, and if art's authentic,
Right.
and we come here and get on your stage, and we bring an audience into an experience,
Right.
then it's gold no matter where it is. Cape Cod, Boston, New York, it doesn't matter. Broadway, Sandwich, it's all the same to me, really.
Yeah.
I really mean that, and I don't mean it to diss craft, because craft is in people, and they can bring their craft anywhere,
Right.
right?
Well, and they bring the best of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what sometimes is a little surprising to me,
Mm.
is that we need to think of whether it's here on the Sandwich stage
Mhm.
or at the Academy
Mhm.
or in
Mhm.
Provincetown. We need to remember that everybody is bringing their best when they are on the stage.
Yeah.
Not that it's perfect.
Yeah.
And actually, even in Boston, when you pay the $300 ticket, sometimes they have bad nights.
Yeah.
It happens.
Right.
Um, so that's what I think is you're seeing people being their authentic selves
Mhm.
on the stage, bringing their craft to you. And you
Yeah.
can't ask for more than
And
that.
I think that's a great point you're making too about live theater
Oh,
or
so different.
live music. I
Right.
mean, I'm a film junkie, so I love film
Mhm.
and hands down. But the thing about anything live is exactly that, I think. And I've said this to people before. I've said, no one comes to your show to see if you're not going to hit the high note. No one
No.
comes to your show to see if you're going to forget a line. They're not gunning for that. They really aren't. And most of the time they don't even notice it if you do it.
That's
You
true
notice it.
too.
Like you're
Yeah.
going,
Oh my God, how did that happen?
yeah, but that really isn't, they're not coming to evaluate you. They're coming to have an experience.
Right,
And if
right.
you have your experience, the more human you allow yourself to be, the more they identify with you. And that's the magic of live theater, I think.
Oh, I
For
agree.
me, that's the
Yeah,
whole reason I do it.
right.
I have a frog too.
I ha I have to laugh though. I was in a play a few years ago, or
Uh-huh.
it was in the Upper Cape, but it was in Falmouth,
Uh-huh.
and it was called Hitched, and it's
Mhm.
by um Black. What's his name? The comedian. He wrote
Louis Black?
Louis Black. Thank you
Uh-huh.
for his first name. That's what happens when you get to be my age. You go, ah. Anyway, I played the drunken mother who was on drugs and her daughter getting married with all these girls. She had all
Mhm.
girls. And I had a speech in the end, and I have to laugh. I never got the speech right. I got lots of compliments. Oh my God, how did you do that? Whatever.
Yeah.
And it came from my heart, and the words were all there, but they weren't exactly as Lewis wanted them. I'm glad he wasn't in the audience. However, I got the point across, and that was
Mhm.
in the end, that was okay. I mean, trust me, I beat myself up with, flogging myself over
Yeah.
the whole thing, but,
Mhm.
um, it was kind of amazing how people
Mhm.
were going, "Oh, no, you were so great. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
how did you do that long soliloquy in
Mhm.
the end?" Well,
Well, it was like that moment in the concert you just came to that we did last month. I did that piece, the a cappella piece,
oh, yes,
and
beautiful.
it has a real resonance with me for something in my personal life, and I got a little choked up, and I switched lines, and actually, I could have kept going,
Oh,
but
that's right.
remember, but something I forget whether it was I blanked out or I just kind of felt like I couldn't, and I said to the audience, "I'm a little choked up," and this woman, I don't know if you heard her,
No.
but a woman in the front row to my right said, "That's okay, honey." So there you go, it's
Well,
like, it's I mean, not that I want that to happen, but
no,
it's
no, no.
okay, but it's
Right.
like,
But
it's okay.
you're human.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when you're on the stage,
Mhm.
and I think that's what people come to see,
Yeah.
is the humanity on the
Yes.
stage,
Yes.
and that you are full of
Mhm.
emotion, and that's how you
Mhm.
can do characters
Mhm.
and bring all these things out.
Mhm.
So what other things have you done, Susan? I know you've
Um,
done your original work, and I saw what you did at, the Cultural Center, which was fabulous.
Thank you.
It was so
Thank you.
fun,
Well,
and it was a packed house, by the way.
I know.
Oh my god.
We were really
I mean, we were, like, on the side and the back.
surprised. We were like, "Wow, okay, that's good." Well, last year I did, the world premiere of The Fadeaway Advantage at Provincetown Theater,
Oh, wow.
which was Meryl Cohn's new play, and that
Mhm.
was and Janet Geisler was
Yeah,
in that with
yeah.
me, and that was really kind of a two protagonist play, me and another
Mhm.
actress, where we were on stage for 95% of the time, and that was a wild ride, and that was wonderful. And I've done a bunch of readings since I've been here, which I love doing because I love supporting new works. And, and I'm doing the radio play coming up, and
Oh,
so
what is that?
it's Claude wrote it, actually. It's
Oh,
called The
wow.
Hot Club
And you're doing it for what?
for Cape Noir.
Who's
Jay Hagenbuckle
okay.
does it on WOMR, and that's
Mhm.
gonna be really exciting. It's got a great cast.
Oh, nice.
It's about a singer in a club in Nazi-occupied Paris
Wow.
who's actually part of the resistance, and it's a really great story packed into 35 minutes.
Wow.
So it's really cool. Yeah.
So moves.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
yeah, it moves. Yes, it moves.
Quickly.
It definitely moves. Yeah, and, before that, I did new plays. I did a couple of really gorgeous musicals that were written for me back in the '90s, in New York, and so I've done a lot of musical theater. I've done straight theater. I've done concert work. I did some 20th century opera, which, that was, eons ago. Um, but I really do love, I love this kind of solo show thing, because I'm also starting to write more now. I'm doing
Mhm.
some memoir writing, which has been really fun and interesting. So I really like this idea of sort of finding an idea and grabbing onto it and getting it, whipping it up into something
Sure.
and bringing it forth. So, um, yeah, so I've kind of dipped my toes into all areas of this work. Yeah.
Well, you know what? This stage, although, an auditorium,
Yeah.
as historic as it
Mhm.
um, is kind of intimate in
Yeah.
a certain way.
Yeah.
It has intimacy
Mhm.
about it and has
Mhm.
a warm feel about it.
Yes.
So for you to come in and bring your show here, I
Mhm.
hope you get that vibe back from the audience,
Mhm.
you know?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will because I think for me anyway, it's really fun to do something in all kinds of different venues.
Yeah, oh, sure.
And also, it's like we do want a packed house. We definitely want a packed house.
Yes.
Packed houses are great for everybody for a myriad of reasons. But, I've done cabaret shows in New York before for like 10 people.
Oh, yeah.
That
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah.
You do it for 90, you do it for 10.
Yeah.
It's a different show for 10.
Right.
It's not a bad show. It's
Right.
different. So if you're really, if you're really immersed and you really love what you're doing, it's
Right.
okay. It's always going to be connecting. And this space is beautiful.
Well, it is.
And
I mean, it holds a lot of people, but
yeah,
it also doesn't feel huge.
cavernous. No, not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all.
So
No, I don't think
big.
it really has an auditorium feel. I mean, you look at it and you think, oh, it's like
It's a little
it's
sweet.
a middle school auditorium.
Yeah.
But
Well, it was built in the 1800s.
right,
1800s.
right. But it's
So,
gorgeous and old fashioned and lovely.
yeah.
So
It's hard to believe they used to have town meetings in this space
mhm,
because they held them in churches.
mhm.
And then this is supposedly the first town hall. I'm not sure that is. There's
Oh,
some question about that.
interesting.
However, but they wanted to build a town hall so they wouldn't hold town meeting in churches. Because if the congregation tended to be one direction or the other, then the vote would go that way.
Oh my
Think about
gosh,
that.
think about that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's all kinds of implications.
Yeah, yeah,
So consequently,
yeah,
a neutral space was built,
yeah.
and this is it.
It's
So
lovely.
I know.
We're so looking forward to it.
Well, it's gonna be, I mean, it's going to be so much fun. And again, it starts you're on the 14th, but our opening
Mhm,
is the 13th for the
mhm,
Sandwich Arts Alliance.
mhm.
Celebrating women in the arts, by
Yay.
women, for women, about women. Yay!
Yay.
And by the way, it was a man who came up with that tagline. I always think it's so funny. It was one of our
Didn't know
board
that.
members, Tony Donovan. He goes, "How about by women, for women, about women?" I went, "Oh my
Mm,
God, Tony, you're brilliant."
mhm,
So
mhm,
you're on Friday night, which is
mhm.
so exciting.
And then you have a Joni Mitchell
But then we
thing
have
on
a
Saturday.
Joni Mitchell tribute.
Yeah.
I know, I know. So
Mhm.
cool.
That's
And
amazing.
that's on Saturday night.
That's great.
So it should be a wonderful, wonderful time period, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that people get their acts together and come to everything
Yeah.
because Thursday night's free. I mean, you
Mhm,
can just come and see the beautiful art and whatever. You don't
mhm,
have to have an invitation.
yeah.
And then your Friday night,
Mhm,
and tickets are on sale now.
mhm.
Yay!
Yay.
For the couch
Yeah.
with starring Susan Lambert.
Mhm,
And then on Saturday night, tickets are on sale now for the Joni Mitchell tribute,
mhm,
which is with Donna Hammers,
mhm.
and she is terrific as well.
I think it's great. I mean, it's like a festival.
Yes,
So
but it
I would also encourage people to come to all of it. And the other thing that's great is too, this space is right near lovely little cute restaurants
oh my
that
God.
we just love. And so it's a great date night, because none of these shows, I don't know how long the Joni Mitchell show is going to be, but our show's about an hour and 15.
Yeah,
So it's not taking your whole night up.
right.
It's a date night or it's a whatever, or it's a gal
And hers is
like
about an hour,
Valentine's. Yeah, it's like
you
it's
know?
like a gals' night.
Yeah.
If it's all women, but it's so easy. It's a very accessible little town. It's cozy, so you can just like settle in and
Right.
go
Well,
for
you
it.
can get your pizza before Saturday night at the Brown Jug, which is what your husband loves.
I know
He told me.
the brown jug rocks. Yeah, and Belfry Bistro we love.
Yeah, yes. And of course, Seal across
And
the
of course,
street.
yep.
And then there's the hamburger
And
place.
then there's yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Great.
there's all that,
Mhm.
all of that.
Yeah,
So it's all wonderful.
yeah.
Well, Susan, you are delight.
Mm.
You're delight. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
coming
Ditto.
all the way from Brewster
No
to
problem.
here. I'm glad you made it safe and sound.
Yep.
There was a big accident, I guess.
Yeah,
6
that's why I
today.
had a detour. Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
I wonder what happened. Must have been black ice or something
Yeah,
on
but
the
nobody
highway.
got hurt. So
Well, that's the good news.
Mhm.
Well, in any case,
yeah,
I am so excited.
me too.
I will be I won't be in the front row because I always sit in the back, but I will be in the back row waving. I'll be, "I'm here."
Yeah. Aw, I'm so glad.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's very, very exciting,
Yeah.
and thank you again for joining
Oh,
me.
thank you. Mwah.
Wow, Susan Lambert. Wow, she was just delightful, and she's bringing her one-woman show here to the Glasstown stage on Friday, March 14th at 7 o'clock. So get your tickets. They're $30 and you can get them online through the Sandwich Arts Alliance. And there may be some tickets on sale as well. And that said, it's a beautiful, beautiful 3-day event celebrating women in the arts. So there's Thursday, Friday with Susan, and Saturday night with Donna Hammers. And that's going to be great because it's a Joni Mitchell tribute. So thank you so much for joining me today. And guess what? I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversations.